Today we're talking about self-compassion, how it builds self-worth, and how to stop treating yourself like your own worst critic. You deserve the same kindness you so freely give to everyone else, and today we're talking about how to finally offer it to ourselves. Welcome back to your Emotional Support Podcast. I'm your host, Noelle Rizzio. Self-compassion. We started talking about this a little when we discussed our Nicole, right? Our inner critic. How's that going for you? Are you remembering to talk to yourself with more positive self-talk? I really hope that you are. And if you're not, this is your reminder to start. I want to kind of expand on that today and talk about giving ourselves grace and compassion. We can't be perfect all the time, and we don't expect that of others. So why do we expect that of ourselves? Let's dig into that. So first, what is self-compassion? A simple definition is that it's just being kind to yourself the way you would a friend who's struggling, right? So there are three core components of self-compassion. There's self-kindness, which is being warm and understanding to yourself. There's common humanity, which is just recognizing that struggle is part of being human. And there's mindfulness, which is observing your thoughts and feelings without over-identifying or judging them. So self-compassion isn't letting yourself off the hook. It's letting yourself off that guilt trap roller coaster. Okay? So let's dive in. So self-compassion really does wonders for our self-worth. And we kind of talked about this a little bit with self-care, right? Self-care increases our self-worth. Self-compassion is just being nice to ourselves. So obviously we have to feel like we are worth that. Okay, and they kind of go hand in hand, but I'm here to tell you that you are. Okay, self-worth built on perfection is fragile. Self-compassion makes it resilient. Okay, here's the key: resilience, not perfection. We can bounce back from our mistakes or our missteps, but they're not avoidable. Okay, we cannot be perfect. We're not perfect. And that's okay. We can't be everything to everyone all the time. We are not perfect. We're human. And I'm going to say that 1,000 times. We are not perfect. We don't expect anyone else to be perfect, but we expect ourselves to be perfect. And I'm here to tell you, we are done with that. Okay? It is okay to fail. It is okay to make a mistake. It's okay to be tired. Okay, you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be resilient. Okay, you have to be able to get through those failures, those hard times. Okay, and with self-worth and self-compassion, that's how we get there. So self-compassion, it reduces our shame. It reduces our fear of failure, and it reduces our self-criticism. All wonderful things. It builds our emotional safety within ourselves. You are allowed to feel your feelings. You're going to hear me say this 100 times as well. You are allowed to feel your feelings. In fact, I want you to. The more we shove those feelings down or push them away, they are going to come back to haunt you. And that's a totally another episode, but we will be talking about that. You need to feel your feelings. And feelings aren't good or bad. They're just feelings. And they're all temporary. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked because I just care so much about you being able to feel your feelings. But self-compassion also, it just improves your mental health. It gives you less anxiety, less depression, more motivation, more confidence. Again, all good things. All right, so let's go back to that analogy of the house that we talked about in I think it was like the first or second episode. If you think of self-worth like a house, right? It's the foundation. Criticism is like trying to fix the foundation with a sledgehammer. Self-compassion, that is your emotional Home Depot. So, does that make sense to everybody? So, if self-worth is your foundation, criticism is just bashing it until it breaks apart, right? That's your solution. I'm going to beat the crap out of this until it just completely falls apart. Self-compassion is going and getting some tools. Go and, maybe getting a nice looking contractor to come over and help you out. Okay? That's what self-compassion is. That nice looking contractor. Okay, sorry. So how do we become more compassionate with ourselves? First of all, we have to be aware of that inner critic, that Nicole. Remember her? Yeah. So once you are aware of her, oh, hi again, didn't ask for your input today. That's what we need to be saying. Be aware, acknowledge, and move on. Okay? Oh, hey, Nicole. Yep, still not digging you. Not going to listen. Bye. Okay, remember, she is not you. That's why we gave her a different name. She is not you. That is something completely separate from you. And if you missed that episode, I would recommend going back because it's a good one. So we need to have like a self-compassion script, right? When Nicole comes up or just, when things start getting in our heads, we need to be able to have something that we readily tell ourselves to kind of come back at that. So you could say like, this is really hard right now. Okay. You could say, I'm doing the best I can, because guess what? I am almost 99.9% certain that you are doing the best you can all of the time. Even when you're not, you are feeling like you should be, which is probably the best that you can do at that moment. Okay? So give yourself some credit. You are doing the best that you can, and that is fantastic. Struggle is part of being human. The next time that you're having trouble saying nice things to yourself or being nice to yourself, ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? Would I act this way to a friend? And if the answer is no, then I want you to follow that up with asking why not. The answer is probably something like, because it's not nice. Because it's mean. Okay? We're not mean to our friends. We are nice to them. So be nice to yourself. Okay, so daily self-compassion practices. I would like you can try this if you want to, journal one kind thing about yourself daily. Or, if that's hard, write down 2 kind things your best friend would say about you. So those are things that you can do on a daily basis. You can either write down 1 kind thing about yourself or 2 kind things your best friend would say about you. Sometimes it's easier to kind of flip that in our heads because we're so socialized to not say nice things about ourselves because that's bragging or, that's being cocky or whatever. I'm going to call BS on that right now. Okay? We are allowed to feel good about ourselves and feel good about the things that we do and the value that we bring to this world. And that is why I'm here. So, 1 kind thing about yourself or 2 kind things your best friend would say about you. Self-soothing rituals. Okay, these sound kind of cheesy sometimes, but doing that deep breath work is amazing. It really is. Guided meditation is really awesome too. Just drinking some hot tea, like some chamomile tea, sometime in the evening, just to like chill yourself out. Using kind words to other people, but also to yourself. One other thing to try, write a letter to yourself from the perspective of someone who loves you. Ooh, this is a good one. I like this one. All right. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. Self-compassion isn't indulgence. It's emotional survival. Say 1 kind sentence to yourself every day this week. If you're feeling extra bold, say it to yourself in the mirror. If you do write a letter to yourself, I would love for you to share those with me if you don't mind me sharing it on here. If you want to share it and you don't want me to put it on the podcast, just tell me that and I totally will not do that. I will absolutely respect your privacy. But if you don't mind if I share it on a podcast, just to share with other listeners, like that maybe this worked for you, that would be really great. You could DM me. You can go to the website, youremotionalsupportpodcast.com, and share it. I've got a feedback section on there. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. We are like 7 episodes in, and I would love to get any feedback you guys are willing to give me. Even if it's constructive criticism, I'm here to take it. This is for you. So I would love to know how you think that I could make it more meaningful to you. So any feedback is appreciated. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. I already said that. Today's reminder you didn't ask for, but definitely need. When you wear those shirts that say be kind or something similar, remember that means to yourself as well. Read your own shirt. Next week, we are going to be talking about physical wholeness, which is not about our appearance. It's about care. It's about caring for our bodies, which goes along with self-care and self-compassion. We are on a running theme. Okay, so think about that. Tune in, subscribe if you want to make sure to not miss the episodes, and have a great week. I am so glad you're here.